G'day, how are ya? Flyman Gala. I don't know why I'm opening with an Australian accent, a bad one at that even. How's it going? You're all very welcome to episode 59 of Buckshot for Friday the 18th. Yeah, I'm doing this early in the morning, so I won't keep you a minute. As per all Fridays, bananas. I have to get a bunch of shit done before I head down to Cork this evening. Excuse me. I'm teaching that acting thing below there this evening, so it should be a bit of crack, but you know yourself, you're getting stuff done, and before you know it, there's about 7 fucking million things to get done before you even get out the fucking gap. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. How was your week? Was it good? Is today payday? You hitting the tiles this evening? Looks like it's going to be a nice day here. So could be the pub could be a calling. Fucking hell. I didn't realise. You know when you're going, yeah, first thing in the morning. Everybody will love it first thing in the morning. It'd be perfect. But really your brain and your mouth are not connected first thing in the morning. Because yesterday I had to do an audition. Because you just have to do these auditions every so often. Like even if they know you and whatnot. But I had to do a video audition. And like that. It's actually weird not having... Because you read out loud never. But it's when you have to do it about 10 times to actually get it to actually work. Because I wouldn't be doing an awful lot of auditions because I'm not really an actor. But fucking hell, it's like, wow, I sound like a fucking bumbling idiot when I read out loud. So even speaking out loud first thing in the morning, sorry lads and ladies, I apologise. I'm not called women ladies anymore. Sure, I'm not. When did that change? I was in that horror show that is Dundrum Town Centre yesterday, or the day before, to see Avengers. And heading to the Jacks, I just noticed that I don't know why I noticed, but I noticed that ladies isn't called ladies anymore. It's called women's. I don't understand I don't know the story there. Is that a thing that's anybody knows that? Let me know. Or why and when that changed. I thought ladies was a nicer thing to call women. I thought it was a more polite thing to call women. Like I would call a woman on the footpath that you would meet, you say, "This is a lady." Is it that politically incorrect now? Are they're not gentlemen anymore? They're men. They're just men. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm going to continue calling them ladies anyway because it's just too much for my old brain to wrap my head around. You're all very welcome. Anyway, what an intro to people that haven't heard the podcast before. I only talk for a little bit at the beginning, don't worry. I know we have the guest on a little bit. You're all very welcome. Thank you very much. Anybody who's new to it, whatever platform you're on right now, hit subscribe. We are, of course, on all the usual suspects of places in case you're only listening to a snip of this. You see, this is the thing. This is part of what they tell you. Podcasts, you have to announce where people can listen to you. You're like, but if they're listening, they've already found the fucking thing. And when I put that to this person who knows a lot about podcasts, it was like, yeah, but you know, the brain started fucking folding on itself. It's like, no, you must. I was like, but I don't want to force anybody to go and find it. So if you want, it's more regular. I know things like Spreaker and Castbox and stuff like that, it can be a few days before it actually catches up and comes out. But on iTunes and SoundCloud, or direct through my website, tommomahony.com, it's up immediately. When I put it up, it comes up. Like, I think, it typically comes up, like, within, as soon as it processes and goes up and uploads, there it is. But on some of the other ones, it takes a couple of days. I know Spreaker, the fucking thing's about a week or two behind. Stupid bollocks of a thing. But anyway, I mean, that's what to do. That's what to do. Of course, I'm on all the usual social platforms. I think I even Dale Cronin said it. I deserve more followers on Instagram. It's not that I actually want a bigger number of people. I just think it's more fun if people can tell me stuff and write stuff under my pictures. You know what I mean? And enjoy the stupid shit that I do. But yeah, I think we just hit 900, have we? Some strange Christian followers and stuff. You always get people like start following you. Oh, you've got 123,000 followers. I wonder why you started following me. Oh, you don't follow me anymore because I didn't follow you back. Oh, right. Is that what happens? I'm with you. Right. But like that, I'm on all the usual places. Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find me on most places, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. And of course on Chatty Snaps, I'm Tom Bear O'Mahony, all one word. And if you want to look at anything else, Tom O'Mahony Comedy, the old gigs and whatnot coming up. I fucked up last week. I told you I got the gigs wrong. I had corporate gigs this weekend, so they weren't open gigs. But this week coming up, because we're now the 18th, on Tuesday night, yes, not Wednesday night, Tuesday night, I'm in Camden Comedy Club, which is upstairs in Anshaw. Then Thursday night, Friday night and Saturday night, I'm in the Laughter Lounge. Thursday night actually should be a good one. It's, well, they're all going to be, there's the same lineup, so it's going to be a good one. But it's for a good cause. There's a bunch of tickets are allocated to, they're allocated to the Paws Foundation. And Paws Foundation is for, as anybody may know, I like my dog and I'm into animals. But the Paws Foundation is essentially what they are, is they take dogs even from the pound that are going to be maybe put down or whatever, and they try and purchase land and whatever just to keep these dogs. So 20 quid of that ticket that you buy is a €25 ticket, 20 quid of that, or 26 I think or something, and 20 odd quid of that actually goes direct to the Paws Foundation. So I'll put a link in the old description here. If you do fancy coming along, I'm saying you can come any night you want. Thursday night is obviously a tougher night to go because it's a work night, but if it's if you're thinking of having a work thing, jump on down. I'll put the ticket link in the description of this one. It's a good, they're a really good crowd to actually give towards, because you can actually physically see. It's not like, thank you for your money, it will go to a safe place. You can physically see this. Like, they actually go and they hire solicitors and stuff to actually buy them the land and all the rest of it. Like, it's, they go about it the right way, this crowd. No, yeah, not being sponsored by them or anything, but I just think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And it's not just, they say paws, like, I know more, but they'll take anything, really. They take anything with hooves. As far as I know, they'll take birds. They'll probably take birds with claws. Claws, paws, hooves, and let's rename it. Claws, paws, hooves, and flippers? Yeah, why not? Jesus, I went to see The Avengers the other night. Good show. Anybody who hasn't seen it, good show. We took our time going in because Dundrum tends to leave about a half an hour of ads first, but we just walked in the fucking door thinking, well, we're sitting down now, settling down with the grub and all the rest of it. Oh, fucking hell, it just started. But it's definitely good. It could be a fair bit longer. I especially like the bit between the raccoon, Rocket, and Thor. I'm not giving away any spoilers. I would imagine most people listening to this have even seen it by now. But anyway, it's worth seeing. But fuck me. What is it with the cinema and me eating like a total prick? Oh my God, a big fucking dirty burrito beforehand. Ate sweets like a fucking 4-year-old. The next month, I swear to God, like I don't do that too often. But it was like I'd been on the beer the next morning. I was fucking in bits yesterday morning. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, the sugar and just shite food. I may as well have been on, I was at all the suffering of being on the beer and none of the shame or crack. What the fucking, Jesus Christ. Dublin has been overrun at the minute by the Rolling Stones. Every single person, if you're on social media and you're Irish, you'll already know that. Fuck me, there isn't a person going, oh, Mick still got it. He's 74 and never did a day's fucking work in his life. Of course he still got it, the cunt. Fuck me. Oh, all the drugs must be doing something. He's 74 and never worked a day in his fucking life. Look, no doubt, it's some achievement, right? It's some achievement. But when you start getting really successful at that kind of business, there are a lot of people to do the heavy lifting for you. You show up and do a 2-hour. You work for 2 hours. Yes, you practice a bit and you write a few songs, no doubt. But he's still trotting out songs that were written 30 fucking years ago. Like, if I tried trotting out a fucking joke that was 30 years old, yeah, you're going to get fucking shot dead. Okay, I'm not comparing myself to the Rolling Stones, but what I'm saying is, yes, he should still be fucking going at 74. Because all of us have done fucking work. Now, no doubt, and they got successful quite young. So, he's been living the dream for 50 odd fucking years. Anyway. Still, it's impressive to see a bloke at 74, no doubt, who can still pull it off, and the rest of the band, fair play to him. And of course, Ned Sheeran is across the across the city over in the Phoenix Park, basically causing fucking pandemonium in the traffic ways. Traffic ways? What's a traffic way, Tom? It's a fucking road, you dipshit. But yeah, Dublin is a no-go area for the next 2 nights because, they're fucking... The lads at the place jammed up. Ned, I have to say though, like I was looking at the pictures that people were putting up and you're going, fucking Rolling Stones putting on a serious show and all the rest of it, you know. And obviously they don't have dancers, but they have a lot of crew when it comes to gear and all the rest of it. And then there was a picture like of Ed Sheeran. Hadn't even put a good shirt on, the fucker. Fair play to him. And he's standing there with just a guitar and a mic. And you're going, that's how you fucking do it. You wrote all your own songs, so no fucker's getting a check for that. You bring a fucking acoustic guitar. It doesn't need plugging in, obviously. But, and the mic stand. That's it. That's all you brought. No fucking Beyonce dancers. No fucking 12-piece band. Nobody falling out with anybody. And all the checks are going to Ed Sheeran. A couple of lads that kept fucking turning on the lights. I mean, that is how you do it, isn't it? It's how you do... Jesus, like, all the checks are going to him. Fucking hell. Apparently afterwards with the catering, I don't know, I suppose the catering will be big enough, I suppose, because there has to be still a decent-sized crew to put the shit together on the way to the stage. But afterwards they were saying that, I don't know if they did in Dublin, but in Galway anyway, when he did that one, all the grub that was left over was given to the homeless, which is a nice old touch. He seems like an alright old sausage. I mean, I read recently he was saying, I've got off all social media. In fact, I've gotten rid of my phone. And they were like, be more like Ed Sheeran, get rid of your phone. You're like, yeah, I hear you, Ed. But here's the thing. I bet when you're badly needed, there's somebody will pop up behind the hedge and find you. There's somebody's full-time job to go around with your phone in their hand. Going, sorry, Ed, your mother's on, yeah, MCD are on, yeah, listen, the Queen wants to see you. Yeah, no bother, lovely. Yeah, I'll call back in a while. No bother, yeah, absolutely, Ed. So, certain people can get... I got rid of my phone, aren't I great? Yes, you are, Ed. Yes, you are. But you're still plenty of work coming in. But I mean, to a degree, you can... Like, if you work at 95 for a company, I know what he's saying. Like, you really don't need your phone. You don't. You fuck it. Unless you work for yourself, you don't desperately need your phone. Like, yes, your children are someplace and you need to find out something about them. But wherever you are will have a phone. Do you know what I'm saying is, do you remember, like, phone boxes? For most of the youngsters listening nowadays, they're going, what? Phone boxes and things like that. You put money in a phone box and you'd make a phone call, or there'd be a stationary phone inside in the house, and that was the point of contact. And stuff still happened. Work still got done. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, listen, I'm peddling a lot of my stuff through social media, and I know that's probably the biggest drawer of, I suppose, companies' fucking funds, is people not actually doing their job to the best of their ability because they're looking at social media, and I'm peddling shit through social media. I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation. Okay. I'm going to tip down the country today. I won't keep you too much. I won't keep you any longer, really. I might swing into Johnny B if I have time. Yeah, like I said, gigs coming up. I've got fucking more corporate stuff in Galway. I'm in Galway this weekend, so I'm going to try it if I can time it right. I don't know if I'll be able to, because he was on to me and he was saying, yeah, anytime, but I'll see if I can time it right. I'm going to try and meet up with Eddie O'Sullivan this weekend, if possible. But may not happen. I have a guest lined up for next week anyway, rugby related too, so I don't know what else I'm to tell you. I really don't. I got to press on and get this fucking thing done and out to you, and like that, today's guest, his name is Kevin Gildea. His sister, I think he might have mentioned it in it, is 1/3 of the Nulas. He's this guy, I just fucking love him. He's got funny fucking bones. He's one of the founding fathers of stand-up comedy, really, in Ireland. Like, as he describes it, because I recorded a lot of them, most of them in the International Comedy Club. I think it was very fitting that he was there, because he was one of the founding fathers of the International Comedy Club. They formed it as the Comedy Cellar upstairs, which I suppose in itself was humorous. He's formed with Barry Murphy of Après Match and Ardlo Hanlon of Dougal fame in Father Ted, and Dermot Carmody, who used to do stand-up. He's a funny motherfucker. I really, really enjoy him. We got chatting about a few bits and pieces about driving out. And then I think we almost got quite deep on a few points and things like that. Right in the middle of it, and I'm not going to edit it out, right in the middle of it, while we're going strong, this fucking Garda band, the Dublin Garda band, and their drum just start a parade up the street with a load of Norwegians behind them, swishing flags. I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody can fill me in as to what the fuck is going on. I'm not going to Google it. I'm going to let the public tell me. I have no idea. So, for now, please enjoy Kevin Gildea.
You've totally introduced tension into the room.
Yeah, haven't I?
You've
That's
totally
the only
broken.
thing.
What I would do if I was you, I'd stick that on and not mention it.
Yeah, I know, but the only thing is, like, if
you've got to get the silence.
Yeah, you got to get the silence. Like I was saying that, like, there was a crowd just following. It was like somebody. Google is that good. It's inside my fucking head now. Yeah. I was thinking, sitting in the car the other day, going, "Do you want to be the right job, Pete? If you could just rent a studio for an hour." Yeah. That was typically dedicated to podcasts. A fucking lad starts following me on Twitter like 5 minutes later. That's exactly what he does.
No way.
Yeah, so I made contact, or to make contact with him, I haven't done, but I was just looking up here at the website.
It's not head stuff, is it?
It's not head stuff, no, this is completely independent.
Did you ever go near them? Or?
No, are they? They have what they need in the way of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I don't know, I was only talking with Emma Doran last week, and she's herself and Julie J now have joined up.
I saw that up, in the 90s.
Yeah.
You need an angle at this stage, because is it like getting like Ed with so many people who do it?
This is it. I would imagine so. Look, they've never approached me, they never come near me. Yeah. I get on with everybody. I've done Cian McGarrigle and Edwin Salmon's one, Reviewables.
That was good.
And that was good crack. Yeah. Just silly talk, again, coming up with like pizza lollies.
That was mental.
Do you know what I mean? Like... But the lads, I like talking to the lads because they let me talk stupid shit. And this is the same when I talk silly shit here too. Like. But no, it was, I don't know, we've never really kind of approached. But then I like to paddle my own canoe too, because this is, like, the fact that, like, we moved around because you had you plans yesterday. You were like, "Is there any chance?" Like that, I'd be under the kibosh if I'd said, "Can I have the space between 2 and 4?" This is grand. Yeah. They all know me here in the Inter, like, so they're like, "Yeah, Tom, tip upstairs or tip downstairs, whichever's free."
Do you put it out once a week? Is it?
Yeah. Friday lunchtimes typically.
How many people do you have listening to it? Or do you follow that? Or does it matter?
A few times, like.
Why are you doing this, Tom?
I think it's there's a few.
Where were you born?
There's a few thousand listen to it, and averaging now because they're gathering every week, and you can see people they're jumping back and forth the same. You can see it when you go looking at the tracks and stuff like. Yeah. But
what do you call a video podcast? Is that a vlog pass?
I don't know. Do you know what? Let's record a bit of it. Let's record one. So in case we come up with a funny whatchamacallit. So that's the old GoPro. Another idiot proof. See that? I just touched that button. It focuses itself. You have to understand, Kevin, I'm an idiot when it comes to anything technical. So when that thing there...
That's alright.
Yeah, it comes out
good quality, isn't it?
It's not bad at all. The old light isn't great in here for that in particular. But like out and about, it's spot on. But it'll be grand, like, you can pick it up. And if there's kind of a funny nugget, I tend to throw it up on the old YouTube page. I wouldn't put up the whole fucking thing, like... but it's like, a funny 3-minute bit, like, you know what I mean?
That is a small camera.
It's handy, isn't it?
I don't like the bass stuff.
Yeah. There's a ton of shite to buy for it, you know what I mean? You can get all sorts of, just a whole kit. And again, it's just more stuff for me to lose.
It's like an action camera.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, yeah.
Can you wear that on your forehead while you're interviewing me?
That's what, oh my God. Huh? Yeah, and every so often you bend it down.
We could have won like weird minors.
This is what it's like to talk directly to Kevin. Weird minor.
POV.
This is nostalgia. Do you get a bang of nostalgia every time you come up here?
I do a bit. When I'm standing outside, say before I come up, or coming up the back stairs, I do get a bit of a thing, yeah. It's funny, because it hasn't really changed.
No.
They did paint it.
They did, and they chopped the bar in half.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, that was so long ago. This was all fields. It was just a big field, and people were looking at us going, "What are you?"
Just start talking to random people. How did the decision come about? Because is it 25 years? Because I remember
88, 30 years.
30 years now.
30 years. We started the first gig in February 1988.
Yourself in the two by? Was it just...
I'll tell you what it was. It was sort of because we'd done a thing the year before somewhere on Bagger Street. I remember there was a club. That was probably the first gig. And there was a lovely guy called the Dice Man. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yes. Was he bald and did he paint his head?
He was bald, a big tall guy. He was bald and he painted his head. There, that sums him up.
That's because I remember him turning up on like the likes of Jerry Ryan's show and stuff. He loved it.
He used to do a street act and he was silent. He never said anything. Okay. But he was such a lovely guy. But for some reason, of course, the way he was the MC, which you're going, okay, that's a good choice. And he was such a lovely guy. But I was like, I didn't have a lot of confidence, so I got quite drunk.
Yeah.
And I remember doing stuff. It's quite funny given the time that's in it. There was about, being in the womb with my sister who was younger than me and very dark stuff. But I ended up calling him a baldy bastard. And that's the way I was back then. But he was such a sweet guy, yeah.
He went with it.
But anyway, then they'd already decided to set it up with a guy called Carl McDermott.
Right.
He was a brilliant comic. Boy, he's writing now. Dermot Carmody was in our group, Ardle and Barry, and they said, we're setting this up. What happened was they were in college the year before me, in communications studies, and Dermot was in my class, and he left after 6 months. Anne, my sister from the Newlands, she was with Ardle and Barry in their class. And I was going, what the hell am I going to do? So I went into Student Union, became Student Union president for a year.
Right.
And then I left going, what the hell? And I had no idea. And I always remember...
Were you all doing communications?
Yeah. My hair was down to here, and I was like a hippie, man. And I went to the Belvedere Hotel back then, which was a bit rough. And I said, yeah, I'm a barman. So I spent the night working. I don't know why they employed me. I looked like a scummy Jesus. And I worked in the bar, and then they said, the night porter's sick, will you do that? So then I ended up staying the whole night and been night porter and stayed there for 3 months.
Right.
Yeah, so then they said, we're setting this up. So I said, okay, let's do it.
Sounds good. So typically it could have been in any bar.
It could have been in any bar. It was quite weird. I don't know how Anne Donovan, the owner, she was so lovely, and we picked this, and it was quite funny. In a way, we were like, comedy was the cuckoo, because in this place, upstairs and downstairs, there was music 7 nights a week.
Was it?
So it was the beginning of driving music out of the International. They still have it downstairs, but now it's 7 nights a week up here, which is so crazy, because we only did it once a month.
Okay.
For a year or two, we did it once a month, and we were doing sketches. We were doing sketch comedy, and then the reason we started doing stand-up and individual slots is we didn't have enough acts.
Right.
So we all did it, and that added another 3 or 4 acts.
Because what was Mr. Trellis then?
That was Barry Ardle, Dermot Carmody for the first year or two, and myself, and it was a sketch group with music and yeah.
Where did the name Mr. Trellis come? Isn't a trellis like something to...
Trellis is something...
you prop up something with.
It was called... You what?
It's something you would prop up something with, isn't it?
A trellis is like the thing in a garden where you grow...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's... Yeah.
But it was called first Mr. Trellis the Mormon. Don't ask. And then we're going to change every month to like Mr. Trellis the Haberdasher. But we ended up dropping that. And then maybe one of the lads knew, or subconsciously, because somebody brought it up in an interview. They said, Mr. Trellis, he's a character from Swim Two Birds, Flann O'Brien's famous comic novel. Right. So we're going, that's brilliant. But one of us must have taught that somewhere in the back of their heads. But it wasn't, I didn't know about it.
And had you seen, like, the thing was... Did you say, I want to do stand-up, or was it just, I want to do something?
I tell you what it is. When we were at college, all of us, my sister, Dermot, Ardle, Barry, we all did debates. We all did debates.
Right.
But it turned out that we all took the piss out of them. We all, even when we did inter-college debates and competitions, we were all naturally, and when you look back on it, what we were doing was our first stand-up.
Yeah.
We didn't know that, We never took the debate seriously, so it went from there. And we were writing. Like, I was bringing out funny papers, and they were doing weird shit. So it was there. The funny thing was around, you know. But there was no regular club or anything, you know.
That's right.
So they set up with Cormac Dermott. And then Alex Lyons came in. I always remember about 3 years, we were sort of in a dip. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It was the 80s. There was a dip every second week. But he came in and he was doing copywriting at the time, and he came in and got the poster designed and gave it a complete lift again.
What was his background to say?
I got a
to
burp.
do that stuff. Like, do burp.
What was it? What was the what?
Listeners love that shit. They love burps.
You love it, don't you?
I fucking do.
You're probably going, is there meat in there? Aren't you? What sauce was he used? My wife loves fucking barbecues, man.
Yeah, well, your wife is
It's
South
so
African.
funny when I see you put the things that she just loves getting her Barbie together. Her bride. They call
Yeah,
it her
yeah,
bride
yeah.
over there.
Well, we're moving just outside. Hopefully next week, just outside Dublin, like quite literally on the Enniskerry border.
Okay.
And there's a small patch of grass behind us. And finally, I'll be busting out the barbecue again. Lads.
Brilliant. And do you ever have what's the South African sausage? Have you ever had that?
Yes, no, I know what you're talking about, but no, I've never
that
had it.
Stuff is gorgeous.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's not like anything you have here.
It's not like the
I
outside.
highly recommend it, man.
I love the way you say like anything ye have here.
I said ye'd have.
Oh right, okay,
Ye
sorry.
have.
I'm
It's the royal ye.
Oh
Kids
right. Because were you born in England?
I was born in Manchester. Yeah.
You were telling me a funny one. We were up in the Empire. You had a great gig that night in the Empire. That was great crack. I went out to watch you because I hadn't seen you in ages. Like,
Yeah.
but you was.
I love the Empire.
But the level of you were just cracking up at your own stuff too, which cracks me up because I was like, that is funny that he's finding this funny.
You know what's funny is my son, I told him not to. He used his camera to record some stuff, and I left the card in it, and he was looking at it, and I was saying, don't look at that, and he did. He's 12, and he's gone, yeah, your stuff is really good, but you laugh at your stuff too much. It's going, okay, I can't help if it's funny.
To be fair, for me that was one of the fun. Maybe as a comic watching that, but I was going, oh man, he's having some crack up there.
But it's sort of funny. I always feel like in later Billy Connolly, there was a thing where he was laughing at his stuff, but it was like part of the act.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
see
yeah.
that with comics
You can,
sometimes.
yeah.
But I sometimes get in a giddy thing, and particularly if you're talking to the audience.
Yeah,
and there's new stuff coming up.
Yeah,
and it's like you become a bit of an audience.
Well, I found myself, because I think it's for what you do comedy for, I suppose, too. Like, I love the crack. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm not really doing it just for their love. I'm kind of doing it because, jeez, lads, we can have some crack here now. And I found myself physically going to the front row. This is some crack, isn't it? I found myself, like, out loud going, oh, maybe I should be more professional and not actually do that. Because other comics are probably going, that fucker just winging it out there. And I am writing stuff, but it's just, there's points in the night where you just go...
There's stuff, because sometimes sometimes you come up with stuff that's like amazing, better than written stuff, because it just is out of them. And when people see really funny stuff come out of nothing, they're like... Oh. And it's really weird, if you do that a bit, and even if you're doing stuff that they're not that into, they go, okay, this guy's funny.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It's strange. I always remember doing a gig in Sheffield once, and I don't know what was going on, but I did about 10 minutes, and it was improv, and it was just storming it. It was amazing. Whatever was going on.
Right.
Bam, bam, ripping it.
Those moments you'll remember
totally
forever,
ripping it. But then I went into number 2, and there was like 2 shows. It was so weird, man.
I hate that.
And I was going, I was a god 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was so strange. It really was. It was going, not after what you did.
Yeah,
That was bizarre. I've never had a gig like that.
That's only ever happened to me once. And I felt like such a fake, nearly. I was like, what? Come on. This is the stuff that stuff is just us dicking about. Now we're into the good stuff. And you're like, no. And of course, could I pull up the handbrake and go back? No, I couldn't. Like,
it's a weird thing. You learn that you go out to the audience, but you got to go out in little, if you want to do your stuff, you got to go out in little bits.
Yeah.
Unless you're MC. Because MC can go on, and you can do, if it's going, you can do your whole 15 minutes and do nothing, which is the best thing in the world.
Oh my God.
But when you're doing a set, at some point you're going to have to go to your stuff, if you want to do it. Because I don't know about you, but like I want to do the stuff that I wrote.
Yes,
and I want to make them
yeah.
laugh at what I think is funny and some of the ideas. You know?
Well, it kind of legitimises what you're doing a bit too, doesn't it?
It legitimises it, and it's sort of like, there's nothing better. Like I was saying, like you do gags, and some gags aren't close to your heart.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
In a another train somewhere. But when you do that stuff that's really close,
Yeah.
and you make them laugh at it, that's the best.
Oh
for
my
me.
God. Yeah, no, it is.
I guess it's because you're sharing something of really who you are.
But it's like when you give a present to somebody, they fucking love it. It was exactly what they wanted. You know what I mean? You're like, yes, yes.
Or as opposed to, thank you. There's nothing worse than the disappointment.
Yes, yeah,
and,
yeah.
Thanks. It's one of the saddest things in the
Oh
world.
my God. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People fight it, and they fight it in different ways. There's the people who go like, listen, thanks. And there's people who go, thanks. You can't.
Because that night, actually, myself and Colin Murphy were just, you talk about it. He was reading the newspaper on his phone or whatever, which sounds hilarious every time I even say that. I knew that would. But he was reading that. He was
reading the newspaper on his phone. One of the funniest things I ever saw was this old guy who had a mobile phone, but he had a couple of yellow post-it notes stuck in it with what he had to do. We saw brilliant, written on it. He opened it.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
But that night he was talking about, he was reading it, and there had been this case where this woman wasn't allowed onto a plane with her anxiety animal. Do you know people have dogs
I didn't
now?
know that. Okay.
You can come onto a plane.
And that's a real animal, not like your spiritual
No.
guide.
This is genuinely a. Is it Terry Hatcher, the actress, or some actress anyway? I know she's quite famous.
I'd love that your anxiety animal was like a scorpion.
Fucking pitbull.
Yeah.
I have no more anxiety when he's around. It's fantastic. I don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, everybody else has it. Yeah.
Displays that shit. Yeah.
No, that's why I call him my anxiety animal. He creates anxiety around him. But this woman wouldn't be allowed on to the plane, and they were quite adamant you can't come onto a plane because her animal. It was a fucking peacock. Right? And myself and Murphy were in stitches, and I just fucking. And both of us were reading this going, and he goes, I have to do it. I said, you have to do that. Peacock, big fucking... Yeah. And I said, do you know what's mad? I said, if you spin off that, I said, while you're at it, this is a bit that I said, I haven't done anything with it yet, but I've logged it. Because I'm fascinated with, like, the crazy things that people do in far away countries from us, you know. So, like, take... in the Emirates and stuff like that, they just, because money has driven them bananas. Yeah. They're now into like robotic camel racing. Like, it's just.
Are they?
Oh yeah. They don't have jockeys on camels. They got sick of horses. They went, fuck your horses. And they put, I swear in my life, look this up. It's little robot boxes sat on a camel, and they actually put the little silk hat and the little silk fucking jersey on, and they have a little spinning thing that has a little whip on it that keeps the camel going. And through another article I was reading, Emirates Airlines will allow anything. Do you know they're mad for Falcons? These lads. To the point that Bentley and Rolls-Royce will actually build a little Falcon stand on your dashboard for you. But I was saying this to him. I said, do you know on the Emirates flights, they allow anything up to 6 Falcons? And we both came to the same thing, like, why 6? You know, not 5 or 10. Like, what? Did they hit a breaking point once? Or it's an oldie world thing where you know if you get 7 Falcons together on a plane, it's going down.
I love the maths department of that religion. It's like 6 Falcons, 72 versions in heaven. All these specific numbers.
So and he did, and he went out and just had a fucking ball with these bird-related stuff. Yeah. It was just seeing how happy he was. It was like, that's why you do comedy, like watching fellas.
But it's good. But on the flip side, is it not a bit weird? Because it's always like if you've written stuff, there must be a little part of you who's going, oh, I want to be doing that because I thought of that idea.
It's true, but the way Colin was doing it, mine wouldn't sound a thing like that.
Right. Okay.
Plus, I really admire certain people. Like, I really admire you. I admire the likes of Colin and stuff. It was some fella who I didn't admire. I go, you're meant to fuck. Yeah. We need to have a conversation. But this is the reality. I was able to put it away for that night, for that moment, because he's off to the races with that. But it's not that I have so much comedy coming out of my head. But that to me was like a silly conversation.
Right, okay. And have you gone back to that? Have you ever gone back to that 6?
No.
The brilliant stuff about that is like it's so funny. You could be like 2 or 3 years down the line, and you could be working on something else. Or I've often gone, okay, I'll go back, and then you go, right, I can get something from that.
Yeah, there's
like that thing about like, I mean, sometimes I find it so hard to write like really genuinely brilliant stand-up. And I was looking at a thing recently, and I was going, it's funny what goes. I was going, there's something there. There's something there. And I couldn't get it, and then I got it, and it involved an analogy, so it did that. And I was going, it wasn't right. And then I was up in Belfast Empire, and the analogy was the Brexit thing, and I was going,
clicked in.
That's it. It's so weird, isn't it? And then other times you could be beating a thing for ages.
Oh, yeah.
And you've just beaten, chipping, and then you've just got a big munge.
I never hate that, and that's the thing I learned maybe only the last 2 years or whatever. Walk away from it if it isn't working for you. It'll stay there fine.
It'll stay, and it could be there because it's funny. You're fine, like future mind.
I have purposely, like we got married last year, and I've
purposely got married.
I did, but I purposely,
unusual.
I purposely avoided any marriage material.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, fuck that. Because all I know that will come out right now has already been said.
Right, okay.
And I know there's little nuggets, there's little jewels there that could be, and I leave it there for a while.
A couple of things about that. Some famous Russian writer, I forget who it was, said every unhappy family is unhappy in a different way. Every happy family is happy in the same way. And it's the same way. That's why in marriage, and a lot of comedy, the really good stuff is things that don't work or the unhappy things. So, you stay away from that till you get bonded.
Yes.
I was doing, I did the weirdest gigs. I did one recently and I did one a couple of years ago for the school where my kids go.
Right.
So you're standing there and it's like all the people.
This isn't where Paul Woodford's kids go to.
No, I don't think so. It's the Harold and the Leary and... I had to say, because I do a lot of stuff, I said, so my wife, and then I said, now when I refer to my wife, because she's sitting right there, I mean my comedy wife, okay, my comedy wife.
Right.
Every time I'm talking about this stuff, it's like, so my wife, my comedy wife. And that got a big laugh.
Brilliant.
Because you've got to...
You got to show that separation.
Yeah, you got to have that separation. And people, it's quite funny, because even after that show, a lot of them were, sympathising with her, going, oh, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, they're going, oh, must be hard. And you can't explain, the best comedy is based on the truth, but most comedy is exaggeration.
Of course it is.
And a lot of situations are compendiums of different things.
Yeah.
But they would just see a straight line, like it was the news. Oh, that happened. Dear.
I did this bit, I used to do it before, and it was about, you probably have seen it, it's about just a teacher, the scary teacher that we had.
Right.
And it's about 7 teachers, including, not teachers, but actually bosses and everything that I had, and the things that are tied in. And I remember doing it now down in Tipperary one time, and it was at least 3 people went, I know exactly. They're like, no, you don't. In fact, none of that ever happened, ever. But whatever they were making up, and they just thought there was this 100% real life, whatever. Yeah. And it kind of clicked and went, all right. Because you can kind of get very inside the little bubble of comedy. You can go, should we all think like this? You're like, no. Most of the world, in fact, I would say 99.99% of the world does not think how we think at all. Or doesn't give a bollocks, really. They want to pay for that 15, 20 minutes or an hour they see of you.
Totally, man.
And then they walk away with their lives.
It's a couple of things about that. One is, I always remember, it was really interesting because, I'm a huge fan of Stuart Lee. Yes, Stuart Lee would go, I just think he's so brilliant. But he would do stuff and he would get these, vitriolic attacks, reviews. He'd put them on his poster from the Mail and the right-wing press. And it's quite funny because he sees it that he was doing a character. Even though it was him, it was sort of like this guy.
I always assumed it was
who knew a bit too much, was a little smug in his thing. But the weird thing is, when you're playing a character who looks exactly like you, dresses exactly like you, walks around like you after the stage, it's hard to see where you set up that character. And I've often felt, sometimes that's been a bit frustrating because there's things you'd love to say.
Oh, I mean...
and he has said outrageous things, but he's taught that he had the protection of character. And in his thing, I think once or twice that hasn't been the case, and he's paid a bit of a price for it.
Well, even I found out, in the first couple of years, other comedians bought into the character I was selling on stage.
Yeah.
They thought I was some sort of fucking lunatic. And I go, no.
I thought that was you.
Yeah. I go, no,
other than me actually physically putting a mask on, lads, I don't know how else to tell you this, but this is all acting horseshit. This is me being silly as fuck on stage, like, you know what I mean?
But the brilliant thing is still you can draw a line to the truth of you.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because you know it when people are going on and they're just doing stuff and that connection's not there and it just doesn't work. You've got to have that connection.
Yeah, no,
it's something that you believe, and sometimes the distance is lower and sometimes it's fucking wide, but you can feel like it.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt,
alive,
of course. Yeah. But, and I suppose it's just easier sometimes for people to go, well, that's the Tom I was thinking of, that's the fella I was thinking of, because rather than going, oh, maybe he is sensitive and stuff behind all those things, like, you know, but it's just easier.
I remember watching you and just loving, because you feel like every place you're going, there are places you've been and situations you've been in. And then, like, I remember, was it The Builders? I just loved that description of his arse against the glass.
Yeah.
Was the builder's arse against the glass was like what?
Yeah, it was actually his junk against the glass.
Right.
So
like,
I said it looked like a bag of chicken fillets.
See, I love descriptions.
Oh, I love descriptions. Yeah,
descriptions
I love
can be
it.
so funny. Man.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's
when they're really thought out.
There was somebody. I remember it was. I remember doing a joke, and I couldn't do it justice. It was a joke about. It didn't make sense for me to add it in, but it was being put to me by a friend of mine who was a very, very funny chap, American guy. Yeah. And I was describing, it was that teacher joke again. He says, you should really go into it a bit deeper, saying like she's got a vagina. Talk. I said, I wouldn't know any of that stuff. That wouldn't make any sense to me, anything, but he did describe it. Oh, fuck me. Like, and that was the thing I loved about construction was the characters you work with are like, they came straight out of a cave, some of them. And the things they would say, like, in description, just to get a laugh from the lads.
It's brilliant, but even details, like what summed up that whole world in one sentence was the joke or the prank where you'd have a football that was filled with concrete.
Yeah.
Like just a football filled with concrete and some lad would come along and go,
booted.
And that summed everything up.
That summed it up. Like, but the description he wanted me to use, I'm not for sure what part of the anatomy he was talking about, but it was not about that. It was like a baseball thrown through a 10-month-old pumpkin. I was like, Jesus Christ, that sounds horrific, because I know, right? But because I was using a pumpkin description already of a thing, but he was like, no, you got to go. And he was right. His was class, but I couldn't fit it in. Yeah. But I love that wording of stuff. But that was the thing, like how more people didn't die during construction just from pranks. Like, it was fucking like horrific things.
I love it. There's all these safety campaigns and posters and ads on the TV, and in the meanwhile, people are just like pulling these pranks where people are dying.
What you're talking about is fully grown children who are probably stronger than your average person with industrial level tools and glues and whatnot around them. In the early stages of constructing houses, so you can't really damage anything.
You like a good prank, do you?
I love a good prank. Yeah.
I hate pranks.
I hate them, but I appreciate the intricacies. My wife is unbelievable for hiding. Unbelievable for hiding.
Yeah. Like from you?
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's not a good start. Only a year in. Haven't seen her in a month.
I do. Where's she gone?
Just ring her. But no, she's very good at hiding. She like that, she will go to the end of the earth just to find a dangerous hiding space, just to try and frighten me. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like she climbed on top of a flat roof on a hotel.
This is exactly
in where we were having our honeymoon. Yeah.
She just climbed up.
Yeah, she got out into the balcony, climbed up, and just as I was looking for her, because I could not see her anywhere in the roof, and then she poured a big jug of water on my head from. And all I could do
You found the perfect woman for you.
She just,
that's brilliant.
Just that level of asshole. I can totally appreciate that level of dick. Like, you know what I mean? Just an asshole. Like.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
But see, I don't really like pranks and stuff, but I got into it a bit with my kids.
Yeah, but
I enjoy doing it with them. But it's funny because, like, if I read about like rugby and football people and he took my socks and throw them in. I'm just going, what a bunch of wankers.
We're
so bored.
Yeah. Well, the only
Just
thing, I mean, I guess you do, again, it's like turning back into children. And because, especially in professional environments of sports people, I would imagine when you're away on tour, man, you'd be bored out of your tits.
They'd be totally.
So you got to start coming up with shit.
You do, but when I read it, I go like, I just hate that to be something that could happen every day.
I know. Yeah.
You're just like, good one. You bastard.
I mean, there was a lad in school, and we were good friends, but at the level of intricacy we used to go to, like stuff, like he used to, just small things too that would put your day off, like taking this, like cutting this one bottom of the strap off that you can't do it on your bag. So you're like, how did that happen? And he would do it so cleanly it looked like it was never there. Or I remember taking, and he was anal about his pencil case and how all his stuff looked inside the metal pencil case.
Was he?
Oh, like the stuff, he had little padding and everything between.
I find it funny that a guy engages in pranks when he's got something
that's
dangerous
level.
Going.
Dangerous level. And he took his eye off it one day, and I broke everything in it, but I put it all back together so you couldn't even see the cracks. So every time you picked up like a pencil, it would fall apart.
You see, I just find that like the technicality of that is brilliant, and there's something brilliant about it. But I'm also going, what a wanker!
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
But it was like
thin line between like, all right, there's something brilliant.
We didn't know when to. We stopped when it got to the nail gun. We started nail gunning different properties down to the woodwork table and stuff like that.
Jesus,
so
man.
Yeah, it was time to leave it behind, you know, because it's like we're using heavy fucking machinery here. It's going to kill it.
So where's he buried?
He ran away to Canada, I think. Actually,
yeah. That's what he told you. Yeah. He's probably in your house now doing the most elaborate 5-year prank you've ever heard about. One day everything will fall apart.
Who was it? I think he was on Letterman. What's your man's name? He's from Boyle and Roscommon, Moon Boy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He had a brilliant prank. If it is true, it's probably not true, but it's amazing. Where he got he had pictures taken of when his child was born or whatever. His child is whatever age, and they have pictures now throughout the house of the increments of age from 1 to 2 to 3.
Yeah.
But what he started doing is taking pictures with other families, like with other babies that are like black and stuff like that, and he's printed them out and put them behind the picture so that in 20 years' time, as he starts to go through, he'll start to think he's from another family. Like there's actually a real family behind him. And it was the level of intricacy he talked it out, and he'd really put thought into this. Like it was fantastic. But
something like that, it's so inventive. You got to admire it.
Yeah, but that was the reality of it.
So what was your response like? Because there is something beautiful about like having a pristine pencil case and like it all looking and just picking up everything falling.
That was almost where we stopped because that was too far for him. I could have stripped him naked and that wouldn't have bothered him as much.
Was he totally devastated?
Yeah, and I felt really bad, and we stopped it for about a month, and then he started to back up again, and he nailed. What in the Christ was that? Did we just get a microphone in the intro where there is no microphone?
That was weird.
But yeah, he nailed my school bag to the desk. And I ripped the complete arse out of it as I went to walk away with it. I went, all right, it's back on, so I would see. So, but yeah.
And can I ask you, in that interim month, did you have a measure of peace that you quite enjoyed?
Yes, we did. But there was always a suspicion, an underlying suspicion that something was... Oh, that's it. It's the seat is flopping. Yeah. The seat that they bought from McDonald's.
No. Or is that just another prank? You set up, so you were hoping I'd sit there.
My wife is hiding under there. She's gonna...
I'm just like, careful now. What's going on?
The acoustics
like, is this a podcast?
It's not. It's not. That's not even... this is just a packet of fags. Yeah. That's all it is. The first time we travelled, or we gigged together, I remember I was only starting out, we drove to Limerick. Do you remember that gig? It was for John Capeless. It was upstairs in a lovely little venue.
Oh, I played that before, and outside there was just the biggest party going.
We had no hope.
And it was a lovely room. That's what the most annoying thing was.
It was about 22 degrees.
There was a curtain, there was a stage, it was beautiful.
Proper theatre season.
And then outside was like thousands of people having the
free burgers, and Ireland had just played in some European qualifier or something.
Organised by the guy who ran the pub. That's what I love, that stuff.
Yeah.
Where the people whose venue it is don't give a shit.
And we give out free burgers. Oh, by the way, there's a comedy event up here we wanted to pay into. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to
We
happen.
actually got a few people.
We did in the end.
And it was quite a good gig.
It actually
I
was.
think I got very annoyed then.
Albeit it was like 23 degrees upstairs. Like.
Yeah, it was such a pity that I did get annoyed because it was going, what? The guy just sabotaged his own thing.
But that's bar owners for you.
That's bar owners. But you're looking at that going, do it in October. I always think comedy is dark, it's wet weather.
Yeah.
It's
to put people in a good mood.
sunniness in comedy don't go.
I suppose the only thing, like a well-established place anyways, giving it a rattle for the first time, summer ain't going to do it.
No.
Like.
And it was a pity because it felt like, did that
It doesn't
end
happen.
there, did it?
Yeah. I've done a few around the country with John. He had a...
He's got one in Killaloo,
yeah.
What's that like?
It's very good.
Right.
Very good. It's a lovely, lovely bar.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me and he was going to get back. So, John, if you're listening to this, give me a shout.
I think he does. It's a lovely, lovely bar. And
Where's Killaloo? Is it Mayo?
No. It's County Clare.
Oh,
and
right, okay.
it's separated by the Shannon.
Oh,
And on the other side then is Ballina, which is Tipperary Ballina, not the Mayo
right,
Ballina. So it'll be down the coast from what? It's very, very.
I grew up quite near, 20 miles from Ballina.
Were you Mayo or Sligo?
Sligo.
Yeah.
But Ballina was near because we were near Tubbercurry.
At what age did you move from?
6.
Right.
6, yeah.
And you had a big English accent on you.
I had a big English accent, and it's funny, I don't know about you.
Are both your parents Irish?
Oh, yeah, Mayo and Sligo. But you sort of remember stuff, and then you go, was that a dream? Or did you ever have that?
Yeah.
You go on, and like I always remember, it's outside a church, and somebody said, go back to England, you English bastard.
Really?
Yeah, that was my dad. The old dad.
There we go. Yeah.
No, but I do remember that. And what happened to me was I didn't want to move back. I was happy over there.
Of course you were.
And I really didn't. And that's where, it's funny, I always hear these stories about actors going, yeah, we had to move around, so that's why I could do accents, because I wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to fit in. I think that's why I'm a comic, because comics don't want to fit in. They're like the opposite of actors.
Yeah.
Really good actors can be anybody. Comics are like this one really concentrated person.
Yeah.
And that's why I hung on to the accent. And like, then by the time I was gone, oh, I'm glad I'm here, I'm glad I'm Irish. It was too late, I was stuck with this accent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't have an English accent.
No, but I've had so many. I mean, I've literally been caught. It's so weird, I never know. Mainly in England, I'm Irish. When you go over there, you're fucking Irish. Over here, I've had a lot. Like, maybe not so much now. When I lived in London, I lived here, I'd come back, and the taxi driver would say, how long are you over for? And he's from Irish. But I've had everything. I've had Australian, I've had American, Mid-Atlantic. I had Czechoslovakian, I've had Dutch. People nail Northern England, other people go Sligo. I've fucking everything. So at this stage, I don't know what people hear.
Well, your accent would probably suit fine for where you live. Like, I mean, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it would. Of course it would. Of course it would, yeah.
Well, all the teenagers sound like Americans.
Yeah,
they're really,
do your kids sound American?
Yeah, they do a bit,
Why is that? I mean,
I think it's just watching
YouTube?
watching all the things, like if the big things, which I don't know if you watched them, like, do you watch Rick and Morty?
No.
Oh, man.
I heard it's crazy.
It's crazy, and like my son was watching it. This is parenting for you, and after about a year him watching it, I watched one and said, I don't think this is suitable for you. But I've been watching it for years. But it is absolutely brilliant. It's as good as anything. Have you seen the regular show?
No.
Adventure Time.
What's all this shit you're throwing at?
They are like 3 of the best comedy things of the last 10,
Are they kids?
20 years. They're kids, but they're so brilliant. They're not. Rick and Morty's mental. Watch Rick and Morty.
Because I do
Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, and regular show. Just brilliant. Regular show stopped now. Adventure Time's still going, but they're brilliant and mental.
I'll give it a go. Because there was...
Rick and Morty is brilliant. I love it.
The amount of people that keep on saying that I will enjoy it.
It's totally, man.
And I need... Yeah. But then I don't watch too... But I'm a freak. I have a very addictive issue. Like, when I will watch a thing, I'd nearly just not watch and watch it through to the fucking end.
My wife is like that. It's so funny with Breaking Bad. It's like,
Oh,
I'm going to start with Breaking Bad. About 2 weeks later, I'm going, yeah, that's finished now. On to the next thing. Whereas I'd come across 5 or 6 episodes over from a 6 months period.
Yeah.
Know where they came from and go, okay, I've sort of done that now. I don't have time to watch all this.
No, it's true. It's true.
I just don't have time.
So I have to avoid them somewhat. But
what was the best one you
but I do like young, like even children's comedy. Some of it is brilliant. I like silliness, like because I remember seeing one years ago, and I think the Graham Norton. I think he owned a production company that made it.
Yeah.
And it was kids comedy, but it was kids sketch comedy. Fuck me, it was so sharp because they didn't have, you couldn't fall back on filth.
Yeah,
so they had to be straight to the point. And I remember there was this, it was just a very simplistic cue for going through the metal detector at the airport.
Yeah.
And everybody was standing there with the grim faces on them, and you're going up along, it's maybe 9 or 10 or 12 people, and it, like in the middle of that queue, and it just passes through, there happens to be a medieval knight in full armour. And he's queuing up and he gets through it, and it's like the thing goes off and he just taps himself like, he finds keys, isn't it? Oh, it's obviously the keys, so.
That's brilliant.
Silly, but it's just so.
No, that's brilliant.
I
But
love
also,
it.
like, if you talk about kids stuff, there was a sketch show, I think it was Horrible Histories.
Oh, I loved
Some of
Horrible
that was brilliant.
Histories.
But the thing about this stuff is, I think it goes back to The Simpsons, because ultimately The Simpsons wasn't just kids' comedy.
No.
The level of that was so, and it's the same with this stuff.
Okay.
Like, regular show is just so brilliant, and Adventure Time is like spacey and weird as hell.
Yeah.
And then it was also SpongeBob SquarePants, I think, kicked it off.
That's
was
amazing.
the kids one, and then you go
Watched all that through college. Loved.
just brilliant. But these have taken it another level. But Rick and Morty is like, I wouldn't even call it kids. There's an amazing one where the two of them go to marriage guidance counselling on another planet, and it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see. You know.
Do you remember Ren and Stimpy?
Vaguely.
They were like, I don't fully know where
They
they
were probably
a
doing
cat
like
and a
that,
dog
were
or
they?
something, but
Yeah.
they somebody wrote them on acid. Like it was just so bizarre, and it definitely wasn't for kids. But it was on during the afternoon. It was like, this can't be for children. This is way too good.
Wait
like.
till you see Rick and Morty, because it's outrageous. But
Yeah,
really,
you're about the fourth person on the podcast, so you have to watch this.
and I was
Jesus.
gone. Yeah, some of it's just really brilliant.
I
I always find it funny, like in America, they just, like, even with that other one, the American Dad, and
Oh yeah.
the other, they
Family Guy.
get away. They just get away with the most outrageous stuff.
But
don't
they-
they?
apparently-
that you can never do here.
According to there's laws when it comes to animation. It's not real. You know what I mean?
Like South Park began it. They began kicking.
Jesus Christ!
boundaries
There's
out.
nothing they would do.
Like,
But-
those guys are brilliant. I read about those guys. They were nominated for an Oscar, and they went to the Oscar night and dressed as women, and they took LSD before they went.
Oh
and
my God.
There's a brilliant documentary about it, and there's photos of them on the red carpet, and they're out of it. And he was gone. It was such a brilliant idea till 2 hours later, sitting there in the
Fucked.
big room. Yeah,
But because I was listening to, do you know Bill Burr?
yeah.
And he was talking about his animated show called F is for Family.
yeah.
And it's all about, like, what in the Christ? There's a band starting outside?
Yeah,
Brilliant. But he was saying that he couldn't believe they were going to, no, push it further. Because he's talking about hitting his children and stuff in it. Like, and he's going, like, he's talking from his old man's point of view, I'm going to put your fucking head in the wall. And that became the catchphrase, talking to his children about this. Like. And it was they went, no, keep pushing it. It's animation. We can do whatever we fucking want.
But also, I think everything is built on a history of their history of comedy is amazing.
What the fuck
Like,
is going on? I'm
in
going
the
to have a look at this.
Is it Paddy's Day?
I don't know. I'm just going to pause the Garda band. So it's the Garda band.
Hey, and loads of Norwegians.
Fucking hell.
This is Norwegian.
What is going
It's
on?
the Garda band and loads of the Norwegian community. That's a random.
Man, I love Dublin for that. Like, it's just... Never mind your New Orleans or any of that shite. Like, just turn up in fucking Dublin on a Thursday afternoon and a load of our police force are banging drums and there's a load of Norwegian people with flags. What day is today? Like, is it...
Norwegian Day.
Like, and to be fair, you could kind of fit in with the Norwegian look. Like, you've got a good Norwegian look going.
They've got like quite big Norwegian flags that look like it's sticking a piece of cheese.
It doesn't, yeah. Do you know what? I remember gigging another a parade story. This will tell you my fucking naivety.
Yeah.
Growing up in, like, hillbilly fucking South Tip
Where
area.
did you in South Tip?
South Tip. And
Did
it's-
you grow up on a farm, did you?
Yeah.
How many acres is it?
No, well, it was about 140 acres.
We had 40 acres.
But,
That's Sligo.
Yeah. But, what... I remember I was heading up to do, and I love gigging in the north.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know, there's something about there seems to be almost, and I don't know what the appreciation is for. Is it for the fact that we're going up to them or what?
Yeah.
But there seems to be a different appreciation. But I was going up to do a gig in Oma one night.
But when was this?
About 2 years ago.
All right, okay.
And got up to the town, and it was March 18th. And got up to the town, it was Friday night, and the police officer stops me outside the town. He says, "You'll not be coming in here." And I went, "What?" He went, No, he says, the town is just, it's off limits for the night. I went, "Is everything okay?" He says, No, it's fine. But I tell you what you do, just drive up that way there, park it above, and you can walk down into the main street where you're going. And I was like, "What's going on?" He says, it's march and parade practice. And I was like, "Well, fuck me, fair play to him." Huh? Paddy's Day was yesterday. This will tell you where my naivety was. Paddy's Day was only yesterday, and they're getting 364 days of march and fucking practice in back. Do you know what? And I swear, it wasn't until, and it was, I'd had this thought, and I went to the cop, I went, "Lovely, no bother." And he kind of looked at me almost surprised that I was chirpy about this. And I swear to God, I put the car in first gear, and then the other part of my brain went, "Well, you're a fucking idiot. It's not that type of marching." And it was a statement of fact too, the fact that it was after St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But they went, like, I'd never seen that shit before. Like, they were so into their drumming, these lads, these Protestant groups of lads, and like, it held off the gig for an hour and a half because people just couldn't physically get to the venue.
I was doing gigs in Glasgow, and it was quite funny. I was in the hotel, and I was just asleep one morning, early afternoon, and I heard this just suddenly bam, 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 and I was going, "What the hell?" And then it was like all these instruments, and then I looked out, and just on the little street below, it was in June,
Right.
they were all there, the British hats and the umbrellas and the things, and banging. They were obviously practicing for July.
Yeah.
But what was weird was watching it that close was the aggression of it.
Oh my God.
They don't play the drums; they beat the shit out of it.
They are
and it
physically,
really,
yeah.
You were going like, "All right, okay, celebrate your culture, do all that." But this was real aggression.
Yeah.
It was my first time up close to it, and it was going,
Very same as that.
It's aggressive.
I had no concept of it. I thought just the way those lads were chirpishly tapping their drums out there, the police band or whatever. The Norwegians and the police band, they seem to be enjoying this stuff. But these guys, like you just said, they were big straight faces, they're fucking banging these things. And you're like, chill, man. Just chill.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Colin Geddes about this.
You should definitely get involved in the Good Friday.
For sure.
Just post as you going, "Chill, man." With a big rib.
Big smoke. Everything would be better with barbecue. But I remember I said this to Colin Geddes, and he was saying, like, where he grew up, it was very much like that kind of shit, where he didn't buy into it. But he said, like, you're watching them marching up on the day of the 12th, that they're banging and banging their drums. He says, to the point, he says, lads' hands are actually bleeding, like, and there's blood on the drums. And they're hitting it. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I was surprised, man. Like, I was 2 floors up, so I'm looking down. It's quite strange because you see their hats with those umbrellas that grow out the hats.
Yeah.
The umbrella hats with the British flags, but the aggression of it surprised me.
They need to fucking have
But it's funny gigging up north, you were saying about that, because like I was in the Empire recently, it's such a great gig. And they do appreciate it, but I remember gigging there years ago when Paddy Keelty was MC, and he was just amazing. He would deal with all the stuff, and like I remember once a gig was pulled because of a bomb scare, we all had to leave and stand aside. But what I remember back then was what you described there, the thirst for that was so much more back then.
Yeah.
I remember going to gigs and they just, both sides, you could tell they just wanted to hear somebody talk about fucking the thing from outside the thing.
Yeah.
They just wanted a bit of fucking space, breathing space, and Paddy was amazing at talking about from both sides. And if you talked about anything about religion and they loved it, man. They were dying. There was just people starved, stuck in this fucking little frame where they had to deal with it, which is understandable. I think it's very easy, the amount of people, particularly in England, are going, what are they arguing about? Just get out of it. People are too flippant about it.
Of course.
Like when you think about how angry if somebody in front of you stops in a pavement and you're going, get out of the fucking way. You are anger. But you're going, why didn't you sort it out? It's like they're caught in a thing that's really difficult.
Phenomenal.
Both sides, it's going to take decades. And I hope this Brexit thing doesn't,
Yeah, said it back. I said,
Sorry, let's
I
get
said
silly again.
but it is a fascinating.
He's helping sillies.
Because how I was opening for Delamere a couple of weeks back in Antrim, and your man, I went
I'm
out.
just trying to think. I think.
Have you gigged in Antrim?
I think I was doing support to Reginald D. Hunter on his tour, and there was one gig that was hard, and I think it was Antrim. I found them very conservative.
Evangelists. They were all evangelists.
That was a weird. They were good, but compared to everywhere else,
Yeah.
it was a strange gig.
They were a bit standoffish at the beginning, but I just said, fuck it, I'm getting paid, and I just dropped the fucking hammer and went as hard as I normally would. And the crack wasn't there like it has been in other places, but they were loosening up a bit. And it was only funny at the break. Your man was saying, the tech guy was saying to me, he says, "Gas," he said, like, any of those people in there, they were laughing. He said, but if they heard you talking like that outside there, he says, they wouldn't associate with you. He says,
really?
He says, yeah. He says, but he said, they're at the theatre, and they're open-minded at the theatre. To go out, let's close their mind again.
You see, that's funny.
And
That's why I love comedy.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a whole thing about what you can't say and can say. Like, I agree with PC and protecting people.
Yeah.
But I just think comedy it's like without
a release valve,
confidence.
like.
It's a bit of a sacred space.
Yeah.
You should be able to say anything you want because it's one of them rare places. And I find it funny, like, when people get offended, say they get offended at Jimmy Carr, you know, and going like, but it's just a game.
Yeah.
You're just using words and it's a formula. Why are you getting offended? Like, people who get offended, like, there's some, if you're a right-wing fucker and you're putting people down, like Andrew Dice Clay, I didn't like some of his.
Yeah.
But I'm going, like, for him to be able to say that so that he can keep this free for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I love that idea that those people go, yeah, in here, we can laugh at anything. We can listen to anything. We don't have the same, we loosen our moral thing and go back out and be who you are. But I think it's such an amazing thing, you know?
Well, I was of the exact same. I was shocked at first. I was like, really? Why would you come back up again? But I was like, all right, I haven't grown up here. I don't know what it's like. Like, in fairness, where I grew up,
Like
while it is real country, people were very liberal thinking in that. And it was all about how funny can you tell the next fella the next story. It was all about funny. Can you be funny and gas and mad whores? Like. And it was all about the funny. But the total opposite of that would seem what he was telling me. He says, no, Jesus Christ. He says, they would not, they climb right back up. He says, and this is their happy space. He says, and they were, and I said, is that why they're so good at coming to the theatre? He says, absolutely.
Wow, man.
He says, where you come from? He says, no need to fucking go to the theatre. He says, because you're having the theatre all the time. It's all a bit of crack. Like. He says, they don't have the conversation. He was great insight, the same fella, because he came from the Falls Road. Wow. And he was turfed out from marrying a black lady 25 years ago. He was gunned to his head, kicked in his back door, get the fuck out, because just highly racist. He had done nothing wrong. But he was turfed. Now she was since gone, but he was saying he has an uncle who has...
Yeah, be careful what you're saying about him.
But he was saying he had an uncle who staunch paramilitary. Like, he has never been in Belfast city centre, and he grew up in the Falls Road. In 58 years of age. Like, you go, what? Yeah. And he goes, just couldn't risk fraternising with somebody outside of his tiny circle. Like.
It's interesting because I was reading a thing recently somewhere on Facebook about studies into contact. There's this thing called contact, and it's an obvious thing, but studies have proved it, that, you know, as you get exposure to people and meet them, it breaks down the things,
of course it
you
does.
know?
Yeah.
And, like, it's just, when you meet the fucking people, they're people, man. I mean, you're not going to get rid of all the problems and things. But you just go, all right.
Well, like that, I mean, you might be terrified of a scorpion, but if I put one on your hand, your opinion will slightly change. You go, all right, well, the fucker hasn't bit me yet.
You.
You're not the prettiest to look at, but I wouldn't be the same level of frightened. You know. But it sounds basic enough that broaden the old horizon.
Yeah, it does sound basic.
But it's fucking true. You know, like if and it's only just a case, and sometimes actually, I've found from living in urban areas now, people can be actually quite insular. Which is ironic because people are even closer to you.
Oh, they totally are.
Do you know?
Man.
And it's like I'm over at like my in-laws' place and I'm waving at everybody. Hey, how are you? And they're kind of looking at me. Jesus Christ, why is he waving at me? I do it. I actually do it on purpose too, to be honest.
But Dublin used to be more like that. You could say hello to people because I remember when I went to live in London in the mid-90s.
Right.
I did that. I've been on a Harry in London. I mean, it was. It took me. I mean, when I look back, it took me a couple of days. But in Dublin in the 80s, you could do a bit of that. You could say hello to people.
I suppose it's probably...
Like I remember going into down the country, you'd be saying hello to everybody.
Oh, of course you would. Or you'd be rude if you didn't.
Yeah, you totally would. But I remember then when at the height of the Celtic Tiger, I remember going into shops and people wouldn't talk to you.
No.
They were gone. The money.
Is that when it changed? Is that when it changed?
It definitely did. Because
that's
before then...
That's my in-laws' opinion, that's when it changed.
It totally is, because before then you go into shop, people they'd be having the crowd, having a chat. Not all of them. But you'd be going and saying and all. And I remember my mum is back living in Manchester, and I remember going to Manchester. I still go back, and around where she lives, that was like Dublin in the 80s.
Right.
The old shop, all right, love, all right.
Yeah.
Lovely, like friendly. And then I think that came back a bit. I knew that the economy was getting a bit fucked when people in shops started being more friendly. I would say, hello, how are you doing? You knew, the economic indicators aren't good because people are friendly.
Yeah. And then, of course, you see in a lot of shops, and I have to be careful how I word this, for a lot of people who aren't from Ireland, who are working in shops, and they were happy enough just to go and do a day's work. Not saying that they have they have different customs possibly when it comes to chit chatting and stuff like that. And maybe English wasn't their first language, so maybe it wasn't as comfortable for them to go, "What's the crack, Mary?" Do you know? So I suppose that
I'm not talking about that.
No, but you know what I mean.
You're on your own.
I reckon that's a contributing factor too.
That probably is, but I found it funny. There was definitely a change.
Oh, it was a money thing too.
It was totally a money thing. And and what you've described is, of course, because Dublin's become, I remember coming back from London. I lived there for about 5-6 years, coming back in the early 2000s. And it's so funny, my wife's South African, so...
Did you meet her in London?
I met her in London because she'd left South Africa years ago because of the whole apartheid bullshit she couldn't answer. She was living in Amsterdam.
Right.
She met my sister there. So she was living in London then, and my sister said, come to the Comedy Store. So she came. It went from there, but I decided I was moving back. I didn't want to be one of these people. I didn't want to end up living in England.
I know.
And so she came back with me, so she was always going Ireland's quite Monaco. But I remember coming back, and just Ireland felt so white. But after London, it felt oppressively, all the colour had been drained. Yeah. It was weird.
Really?
So I guess, it was really weird. And now it feels like it's more, but just more cosmopolitan. To go back to what you were saying about different people working in shops. Yeah.
Well, that's a
bigger city. Right?
And that's the thing, I suppose. I was surprised, but for the little time that I do go to the UK and stuff, you do come back and go, oh, jeez, it's very white here.
Yeah.
But that's not
particularly London. Well, London's...
Yeah. Well, of course...
London's just a major city. I stood I was there recently in Liverpool Street, and just the rush hour.
Oh, my God. I remember Liverpool Street is bananas.
You feel it's overwhelming. I always feel a bit lonely when I go to London.
Yeah, because you get off the bus at Liverpool Street as well, don't you?
Yeah, you can get off the bus or the train from Stansted,
And it can be overwhelming. And I
just feel,
But I found myself I force myself to have conversations too with people, when I'm in big cities like that, almost to defy the odds,
Like where?
Yeah.
Where? Who?
Not far from Liverpool Street. I had about 2 hours to kill before I was going meeting friends, and I said, go for a bit of lunch in here. And it was kind of a busy bar where a lot of suits and stuff were coming in. And there was a couple sitting beside me, and they were just having a bit of a natter. And I just found myself going, all right, how's it going?
Yeah.
And they looked at me strange at first, and they were both from Essex. And they were chit-chatting. Fuck me, I says, it's all going on here. I says, no. Do you know what I mean? Just the bar.
Who could not touch somebody's opening line is, fuck me, it's all going on here.
Yeah, I think they were.
How could you not talk to that?
I suppose that wasn't my plan to use that line, but it was just... I suppose I was just vocalising my first thought. Fuck me, this even this bar just doesn't slow down,
Yeah.
Do you know?
And they started chatting from there.
But I do it just out of nosiness. Maybe it is nosiness, but just I won't allow myself to be defined by the area that I'm in.
No, that's really good. I just thought you were trying to talk to one of the people rushing by in Liverpool Street concourse, walking beside people going...
Sorry, could I have a moment of your time?
But that is so... my mom was just, you go anywhere and like immediately she's talking to people on a train, on a bungee drum. It doesn't matter where she is.
Yeah.
And it'd be like the opening thing is like almost like she grew up with them. Yes, you know, they slip into, and that generation, a lot of them did that, you know.
Well, I suppose, yeah, and I
It's just that the boundary wasn't there. But
well, I think I'm doing it. I don't know who or what I'm doing it for, but it's just I think it's out of fucking defiance.
yeah, but there's also a little writerly greedy side, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
I get something here.
Yes, oh no doubt, there absolutely
We're all
is.
vampires.
Yeah, oh absolutely, like because these two, in fairness, they were a strange couple. And I was trying to work out their story. They were having bits and pieces of conversation, and this is the middle of the day, and then all of a sudden they'd start snogging like crazy.
That is so brilliant. You're such a pain in the hole.
Yeah.
These people snogging and then,
Yeah,
and you just sit down. What the fuck is all going on here?
Fuck them. If they don't want to talk to me, they don't want to talk to me. They don't have to. Yeah, I'm a pain in the hole. I don't give a shit.
That's brilliant, man.
Fuck that.
So they did chat.
And they did. They had with a great old.
What did you find out?
Just actually that his family were once upon a time farmers. She's owns a hair salon, and he's getting into the banking industry. He's working for a small bank out in Essex, and now they're moving to London.
You sucked them dry.
Fucking sucked. Now there wasn't any great juicy stuff, but he was recently divorced, and you could tell, and I could tell he was recently divorced. That's why they were kissing the heads off each other. Do you know? But it was but that, in an instance like that, I did it also for there could be a good old story here, but almost in defiance of. Nobody's fucking talking to each other inside this place.
And then they loosened up.
They told it. You could see it. It was almost like the shell was coming off. Like oh, all right. And you could see him kind of perk up and go, oh, right, yeah. Even though we are in London, we can have a normal country conversation with folks. Like, and I remember because you can assume that it's London. That's all of England. Is it fuck?
Oh yeah, completely.
We went to kind of a.
But also, sorry, in London there are just. You look at them and they're like all these Londoners walking by, but when you get down to it, a lot of them are from all over, and
they're just in the same boat as you.
Not all. Some of them are that too cool for school London. Yeah, but a lot of them.
But I guarantee
you've got their whole histories of where they talked to.
But you go digging at anybody. Nobody's fucking too cool for school. You go digging at them like you go, nah, you're fucking not. Nobody's too cool for school. Like. But I remember we were going to it was kind of a fancy gathering / dinner with friends of my wife's in Leicester. It was about 20 miles outside Leicester at this kind of manor house. And I said, we've bags of time to kill. Yeah. Let's not use the motorways. I fucking hate motorways. Yeah. Let's see, can we find an old country road? Sure, if we get lost, we get fucking lost. Yeah. So it was a fine day. And I found this old... We came off gorgeous, the country roads in England, like those chocolate boxes. And we pulled in at this small little petrol station. And it was like a village fete was going on in the church across the way. Everybody had straw hats on. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is picturesque stuff. But I went in and there was two guys just giving each other shit in a funny way. Just one leaning on the counter going, and just back and forth. And I said, all right, boys. I said, sorry, was I in the middle of a tiff there, lover's tiff, or what's the crack like? And the two of them were like, who's this motherfucker? But they were loving the bit, just back and forth. So I was in there, like even she was sitting out in the car going, why were you 10 minutes in there? I said, because I was having the crack with two old boys in there. And she was going, it was just a good to see, oh yes, there's loads of parts of the world that are exactly like where you, like when you just go to a heavily condensed city, it's like nothing really, like, there's nothing to compare it to. Like, but with these lads, I said, look, I want to get to such and such, and they went, well, what you want to do is get back on the motorway. I said, I fucking don't want to get in the motorway. Tell me the fucking old fucking back route. So, and it was from there, then it was just nosing us back and forth, like, what do you do? What do you want to do? That for? And it was, but it was cool. It was cool, like, but like that, just to get to I think my own defiance is like, I'm here to have a fucking good time. And by good time, I don't want to have a look at the fucking 42 and fuck off. Like. But again, it's probably just the ignorant pig in me, just won't allow me to.
No, that's brilliant. Because there's something about, that's what happens, isn't it? Like London, it's like the motorways. They end up everybody getting on and going this way. But when you get off the little roads and you dig in, everybody's willing to be open, Yeah, they are.
They were.
When you break through a certain thing, and what happens is people get into a habit, and then they're going, oh, maybe don't want to, or I don't want, and then you become lazy in bothering.
Yes,
and everybody
yeah.
ends up getting in this little weird shell, don't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, especially, and you can see it's kind of coming here, like people love, they were like, do you know what's a safe space? Is it like a little chef or, you know, a little M&S at the petrol station? That's a safe space. I know what I like there, and I know it was in the same place 20 miles up the road.
Yeah.
These are all, and we'll get home and we'll turn on the telly to the program that we like.
Yeah,
now, I'm not a fucking hipster or anything, but it's, or, you know, but at the same time I'm going, oh man, I will end up eating my own hands if I have to live my life that way.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's like drawing a graph with certain dots and then say, okay, from now on, I know I can make it from there to there to there.
Yeah.
And to the big dot at the end.
Yeah.
I'm in. Pull the lid over yourself.
But that's exactly it. Wow, what a Jesus.
What a way we end it.
Yeah, what a fucking fantastic. Thank you very, very much,
It's
Kevin.
a pleasure,
Gildea.
Tom.
That was great crack.
Pleasure, man.